choosing the right PC for your field is not as easy as you think, because it takes a lot of experience and a lot of PC usage to, finally figure out what PC is right or best for you. So you might not want to take a guess on your next best PC. So if you're a beginner or you're looking to go into any of these fields or role, in this video I'm going to be listing the exact specs you're going to be needing to carry out your tasks without any problem. So it's going to be the perfect PC for you. So in this video I'm going to be showing you guys what specs you actually need. So if that interests you, just stick around. It's going to be a short one. If you use your laptop for basic study works or research, or heavy document works that imprises or requires you to use softwares like Microsoft Excel and then PowerPoint, or maybe any of all these softwares, having at least 2 gigs of RAM installed on your PC is very perfect. In fact, it is perfect because the apps on your PCs does not have that much strain on your RAM. But you might need to have a solid hard drive space, for obvious reasons. Your documents, at least 500 gigs of HDD or SSD for obvious reasons. Your documents. You would also need your laptop to have at least 1.4 gigahertz processing speed installed on the computer, and anything below that might end up slowing down your workflow, and you might not like the workflow as well. You might also need to consider.
Now, for those of you that are actually confused right now, because I just said SSD, and I assume that most of you guys already know what I'm talking about, because I just posted a previous video on understanding PC specs, which will help you understand, PC specs a lot better than you already know. And I was speaking of SSD and then gigahertz, but it didn't feel right, just not add this card right here on this video. So if you don't understand what I'm talking about, or you feel like you don't understand the PC specs that well, you can feel free to go and check out the card. It should be somewhere here or here. So yeah,
you might also need to consider your PC having a bigger screen real estate. That is, it's going to be a large PC so that you can be able to split screen or work comfortably on your PC. Because all these big laptops, they do come with keyboards that have this number pad and then the alphabetical pad. I'm just using my keyboard for example here. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. But now, if you're a student who is in computer science, or you're a person looking to go into the programming field, that is working with codes and then programming languages and text editors, I wouldn't recommend you to go for the best yet. I don't know if it's for you guys, but for me, I like to enjoy my upgrades. When I feel I need to upgrade, I upgrade. That is why I'm making this video, so that when you're at that spot, you will not feel like you spent money on a laptop that, let's say you get a laptop that is 16 gigs of RAM when you actually need just 12, and then you pay for something that you might not end up using. So because you're going to be needing to use all these high demanding text editors and programming languages, or consoles on your PC, you're going to be needing at least 8 to 16 gigs of RAM. Now, if you watch, I went down to 8 gigs of RAM. Some programmers might think, oh, they're using an 8 gig RAM PC and it's having problem. But I simply said 8 gigs RAM for a reason, because I've used a PC, or I was working on a PC just the other day, and the PC has SSD on it, which is the type of hard disk drive that is a little bit faster than the normal hard disk drive that most systems come with nowadays, or those days, I don't know. Nowadays, I think they're now switching it down to SSD. But it has a 500 gig SSD, which is a lot faster. And having that PC still running on 8 gigs of RAM, I could still tell the difference in performance, compared to my own that is actually running in, I think, 12 gigs of RAM. It just comes down to the hard drive. If your hard drive is, getting full or is a bit slower, it will also affect your workflow, and you're going to tend to notice it as a programmer. So having at least 8 to 16 gigs of RAM on your PC is perfect. And then 750 to 1 terabyte of storage space, preferably in SSD. So a processor speed of at least 2.6 to 2.9 gigahertz is also just fine. Finally, since programmers don't rely heavily on graphics or deal with graphics that much, I don't think we need to be focusing or even looking at the graphics aspect of your PC, except from having like a good screen so that you can display the accurate colors when you actually program. So having a PC with a reasonable amount of graphics is just fine for any person looking to go into programming, because they don't make use of graphics that much. I see laptops like I think the great start if you want a specific recommendation on a PC that you might want to get. So these 2 laptops I've just mentioned, they're absolutely great. They just give out everything. Now, for those looking into video editing, graphics, and then photo editing as well, those graphics designers, I currently use a PC with 12 gigs of RAM and a 4 gig dedicated graphics card, and I still feel like the PC could do a little bit better, or I could do a little bit better in my upgrade. But the thing is, I do video editing with my PC, not just on YouTube. I also edit movies for clients, and I was previously working with 8 gigs of RAM on my PC, and it was terrible. But when I upgraded my PC to a 12 gigs of RAM, it became a lot more better and a lot more faster, because you are now stretched into the graphics section, and you will now be using high demanding softwares like DaVinci, Premiere Pro, which requires at least 8 gigs of RAM to actually function properly, or in some cases to even start working in the first place. It's best you start with a PC with at least 12 gigs of RAM, 750 gigabytes to 1 terabyte of hard drive, preferably in SSD, a processor speed of at least 2.9 gigahertz or above, and then for the graphics card, at least 4 gigabytes dedicated, whether in Nvidia or Radeon, which are the top graphics software companies out there. You need to have at least a 4 gig dedicated graphics card on that PC. You would also need your PC to have a really nice screen, because we all need to get that perfect picture.
I don't need to say it, but the screens on your PC is literally one of the best part about your PC as a graphics designer. So what you're on the lookout for a screen that you need to buy for your next best PC. Screens with the LEDs and the OLED are the top 2 screens out there in the market right now. But it is said that the LED screens are great and they offer great brightness. That is if you intend to go for a brighter screen. But the OLED produces great contrast ratio, so it produces accurate colors more than the LED. So if you want to go for a PC, it is best you go for the ones or the laptops with the OLED, and I think they'll be pricey, but it is going to be worth it when you go ahead and make that purchase.
Now for the final category, which is the bits of everything. I call this category a bit of everything because it's for people who like to do a bit of everything on their PC. They like to explore, so they edit with their PC. They could be gaming as well on their PC, and then researching on their PC, and then going online with their PC, and then doing graphic design with their PC as well. So you're going to be needing at least 12 gigs to 16 gigs of RAM on your PC, just so that you can compound and then do everything. It's something that takes up RAM really well on the system. So having a comfortable amount of RAM on your PC will just save you a lot. So 500 to 1 terabyte of hard drive space, preferably in SSD, a processor speed of at least 2.6 gigahertz, and then a 4 gig dedicated graphics card, obviously for the graphics demanding applications on your PC. But one thing I think you're going to really need is screen real estate. Now, if I can tilt the camera right now down, you're going to find out that my laptop is right here, and it's really big, and it's like this. I think it's 17 inches. It is the biggest screen size you can find on a laptop right now, and I guarantee you it will increase your workflow a lot better if you have a really nice screen real estate on your laptop. But so just something that I think that is highly underrated. Screen real estate is not something people always talk about, but it will help a lot of people in this category. So
that is all for today's video, guys. It's been long. I can now finally say I am back on YouTube. I've not been uploading for a while, obviously, because I was in school and I graduated computer science. I was thinking I will skate through with the YouTube thing and the school at the same time, but it felt like as I was climbing in level, as right here we're calling 400 level, as in when I entered my final year, it became really tough to kind of manage YouTube and school at the same time. So I had to pause YouTube for a while, but it all paid off. I'm now a graduate. But yeah, that is just one thing. Thank you guys for staying, actually waiting for me to be back again to upload. Hopefully I'm going to be able to start dropping content now, because I am done with whatever was holding me from uploading videos back then. There are a lot of videos that I should have uploaded, but I did not upload the video. Thank you guys for staying. It really means a lot to me to come back and still see you guys probably waiting. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Wahala day. If you're new here, welcome to this channel. If you check out any of my videos, it should be on the screen right now. And yeah, I'll see you all in my next video. Peace.